Hey, it's James. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the unofficial mayor of Cowboy Country, and I am so glad you could be here with us. Have to do a quick video tonight because, unfortunately, in my PhD program, I had a homework assignment that was due last week, and I completely missed it. I don't know what the heck happened. I've been doing a lot of research. I want to see Boone Pickens Stadium improve. I truly believe it's one of the finest football stadiums in the entire country. I've seen over 40 in person. Um, you know, some like Florida State in Florida, they're really nice stadiums, but even they have their flaws. Florida reminds me a lot of Texas in that the side that you can see from the road is all pretty and has not lots of glass and brick, but the opposite side that you can't see, it's kind of bare bones and basic. Although I'll give credit to where credit is due, Florida and Texas and Nebraska actually take part of the space in the stadium and use it for classroom space. So the fact they're using it for more than one purpose, I think is a really good idea. What would I like to see Oklahoma State do? So I'm going to use some examples, oddly enough, one from Old Dominion, because they just did some construction recently, and then another from Iowa State. So yes, good old Cyclones. There were a lot of really good things I saw when I went up to Ames. And I'm not even going to touch on that bridge that connects the far parking lot to the stadium. So I'm sliding over so I can put pictures here. The first thing I want to show you from Old Dominion is this picture here. If you notice, Old Dominion has ribbon boards in their stadiums. Baylor, TCU, Texas, OU. I'm trying to think of some stadiums I've seen recently. Even North Texas, BYU, Lavelle Edwards Stadium. They all have ribbon boards somewhere inside of their stadium, and it adds to the atmosphere. The other great thing about ribbon boards, and I noticed this especially when I was at BYU last year, the ribbon board that was on the visitors' side, that was up at the very top of the stands, they would put the scores from other games that were happening or had happened during the day. Since that game against Wyoming was at 6 o'clock local time, 7 o'clock central, a lot of the games had already taken place. So they put the scores on those ribbon boards. It was a really good thing. It helped me as a fan to know what was going on throughout the day. I just thought it was a great idea. Second picture I want to point out is also from Old Dominion. I know Old Dominion's a smaller school. I know they have a smaller stadium, but look at this. They have a parking garage right next to their football stadium. Now, I'm going to tell you where I think Oklahoma State could put a parking garage that would help not just football, but also basketball. But I know Stillwater, and I know that somebody next door is going to have to be willing to move across the street to make this happen. And I know that's not going to be a popular decision to some. But this is just my idea. This is not from Oklahoma State. This is not Chad Weiberg. Nobody at Oklahoma State is telling me what to say on this. This is strictly my opinion. But I feel like over the last several years, I've been to many different stadiums and I've learned what others are doing. I think this would help improve the overall fan experience at Boone Pickens Stadium and at Gallagher-Iba, to be honest. Number 3, this idea comes from Iowa State. The idea of putting seats in the corners. They didn't completely wrap around one of their end zones because they put a building there. Obviously, with us in the East Plaza, you have Gallagher-Iba Arena there. But there's these gaps there. I'm saying it's possible you could put bleachers up there. You could somehow put a structure connecting. You'd have to put some beams connecting the stadium to the side of Gallagher-Iba and then build on top of that. You could put some seats there. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, I would move the visiting fans there. And I would also make it to where, just for access of bathrooms, I would make it to where fans could actually go inside of Gallagher-Iba and use some of the bathrooms. I don't know if OSU would be open to doing that or not, but it's just an idea. The 4th idea also comes from Iowa State. It's this picture right here. If you notice, they have a big board on both ends. So yes, I would, obviously it wouldn't be as big as what's on the side of Gallagher-Iba, but I would put another big video board on top of the west end zone. Here's why. The replays would be on the 2 big screens. Or let me just, if these are the end zones, the replays would be on the 2 big screens, and then the screens that are in the 4 corners, that's where I would put things like statistics, literally in-game statistics, where people would know how many yards passing, how many yards rushing does each team have, how many first downs, time of possession. You could also put other scores on those screens. If you don't do a ribbon board, you could use those 4 smaller screens for stuff like that. My 5th idea, and this was very obvious to me, especially even older stadiums. Let me get something to drink here. Older stadiums like Kansas. I noticed this with Kansas State. I noticed it with Nebraska. Iowa had their logo everywhere. Iowa State. And that's why I'm going to use this picture. I mean, yes, on the back of the video board it says Iowa State University, but look underneath it. It clearly has a Iowa State logo. Those logos are all over the place on the outside of the stadium. But if you look at Boone Pickens Stadium, there's nothing. There's some stuff on the gates, but there's no logos on the building itself. You have 3 different places on the outside of the stadium where it says Boone Pickens Stadium. And all of those, the background lighting is white. The only place where it's lit up in orange is on the inside in the west end zone. So we definitely need more logos on the outside of Boone Pickens Stadium. And I also think we need a couple of them on the outside of Boone Pickens or Gallagher-Iba. Especially if you're at that gas station on Duck and you're looking at Boone Pickens or Gallagher-Iba, there's a big place right up top where you could put an OSU logo, and I think it would look really good. Last, and I'd never seen this anywhere else, Well, actually, Iowa State did it and Missouri did it. They have a ribbon board on the outside of the stadium. And what this does, and my background, I got full disclosure, my undergraduate degree is in marketing. So let's put this picture up here. The use of the ribbon board on the outside of the stadium is for those people that are walking by and they're either a student or faculty or an alumni maybe visiting in town, and they look up, and what Iowa State was doing is they were putting ads for future events. Hey, we're going to have a basketball game on such and such a date, and we're going to play this team. And we're going to have a women's basketball game, and we're playing this team on this date. Hey, we're going to have a wrestling meet, and it's going to be on this date. And just those, they were running these ads on the video board. And if you want more people to come to stuff, and they're already there, what a great way to advertise and to get the information out to people so that they know what's coming. So now I need to show you this map because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in letters. Actually, let me use this map, which is a little bit closer shot. See, the problem is the area where I want to put a parking garage. Well, that's where First Christian Church of Stillwater is. And I know people that are there at First Christian Church Stillwater. They're good people. But I also know that church has shrunk. They've lost members. And they owned some land across the street on Duck Street. So if OSU would be willing to pony up some money and get that land and encourage First Christian Church to move across the street, build a smaller building. I'm not wanting First Christian Church to move completely off of Duck Street. I just would want them to move across the street. And so then you could put a parking garage there. What would happen is not only would that help out with parking for football games, that would also help out with parking during basketball events. So, and that would also help out with parking during the week for the students. I know that some people will say that it's conspiracy theories are stupid and you can't believe them. But I've been told since day one, since the first day I moved to Stillwater, way back in 1997, that Oklahoma State is deliberate about how they have less parking spaces than they do students, and that what that does is it forces the demand to go up and they can charge more. I don't believe that, but I'm not seeing enough. I don't see Oklahoma State being proactive enough in solving the parking problems. Now, granted, with the buses that they started when I was a student, it's really good for those who live off campus. You just take the bus, you go to school, you ain't got to worry about parking your car on campus. Yeah, that does alleviate some of the problems, but I think a big parking garage next to Gallagher-Iba Arena near Boone Pickens Stadium would be a huge, huge improvement on that situation. So anyway, these are my ideas. I hope to put it in some kind of written marketing plan and actually formally submit it to Oklahoma State. I think these are things that other schools are doing that Oklahoma State should do in order to improve. And I want you to hear this from the bottom of my heart. I'm not wanting to make changes just for the sake of making changes. I want changes to occur to make the fan experience at Boone Pickens Stadium and also Gallagher-Iba better for all of us who are alumni of the school. Everybody who loves Pistol Pete, everybody who says that they wear orange and black and that they're loyal and true, everybody who's an OSU Cowboy. I want these ideas to be put in place so that those fans have a better experience at the games. So, anyway, if you are new to the channel, please hit like and subscribe. This went a little bit longer than I thought it would. But I think those are some good ideas that could be implemented. So, from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you for watching. And as always, go Pokes.